And we'd like to thank One Time Plumber, our sponsor for our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you're having a great morning so far, and hope you had a wonderful weekend. Beautiful weekend, a little windy, but boy, we had Little League opening day, and what an amazing event. Had a great time out there, and over 165 kids having a great time playing baseball. Well, this morning we're going to be talking about Payson NAMI, and that's the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And in the studio we have President Shaun McClure. Good morning, Shaun.
Good morning. How you doing, Chris?
And also Carol
Zengale.
Carol Zengale. Good morning, Carol. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
All right, so going to be talking about a lot of things. What NAMI is, resources, programs that are offered, also upcoming class. I know really want to focus on that. What class? I think a family class, or
Yeah, family to family.
family to family. And when does that start?
Actually, on April 7th, and it's going to be our first daytime class. We're really excited about that.
Oh, okay.
And normally everything happens in the evenings. This will be going on 1:30 to 4 p.m. every Thursday. Or Mondays. Yeah.
Every Thursday?
Yeah. Mondays. Thursdays is my class.
Gotcha, every Monday.
Yeah.
Every Monday,
Yeah.
and that's during the day, so that's really cool. Tell us maybe a little bit about this class. First, is there any cost to the class at all?
No, it's absolutely free.
Nice.
And it's one of the first classes I had participated in when I moved up here to the area, and it's just fabulous. I learned so much.
Gotcha. And this class, it is a family class, so who, I guess, is this for? Who should maybe consider coming to this class?
So anyone who has a loved one who suffers from some type of mental illness, such as PTSD, anxiety, and we all know how much anxiety is taking place today, so almost every family probably has somebody. I have a daughter who has bipolar and also suffers from anxiety. So when I took the class, she was the person that I focused on. Other individuals that were in the class, then everybody had somebody in mind that they were trying to learn skills for how we can better support them.
And how long is this class?
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Right.
So 8 weeks, every Monday, starting April 7th, from
1:30 to 4.
1:30 to 4. Wow, okay, and again, a free class. And is this over in the NAMI building on Arab?
Yeah, 308 East Arrow.
308?
And it's a really pivotal program because it teaches those skills for you to care for your loved ones and understand where your loved ones are coming from. Where it's communication, understanding the various illnesses. So, and we have 2 new leaders that have gone through the program and gone through training that will be spearheading this.
Nice, and so, yeah, I could imagine people, family members, parents, siblings,
Yeah.
anyone,
Grandchildren.
that might be frustrated or feel like they don't understand. Maybe that person cannot communicate, like they're constantly.
Yeah, and what's really powerful is the group aspect. One family member is going to say, well, this works for me. And someone else in the group will, wow, I want to try that. And they're able to really bounce off each other, and they end up creating their own support groups. A lot of people end up being friends afterwards.
Wow. No, this is, it's great, and this is just one of the classes, many classes that NAMI, Payson NAMI offers. But this one, family support program or family program, again, that starts April 7th. It's from 1:30 to 4 every Monday for 8 weeks. And how do people sign up? What's the best way for someone to get signed up?
Well, they'd have to call, and we kind of talk to them. We go through who they're supporting, because it needs to be someone that they're, usually adults. If within the 16 to older range, the person that they're supporting, whether it's a loved one or a close relative. But they would give us a call at 928-301-9140, or they can email us at namipayson.org or namipayson@yahoo. they can go to NAMIPayson.org if they want to read more about it.
Yeah, and I just brought up the website right here that tells more about these classes, support groups, different resources that are available. So yeah, it has right here, NAMI Family Support Group, learn more. You can click on that, and it gives you information about that class. The phone number is on there, email. So that's how you can get signed up or learn more about it. And so there are a lot of other classes. You mentioned, got a little confused because Thursday
yeah.
is a class that you do, Sean, Creative Expressions.
Well, actually, after that, we've changed that as well, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so actually, that is on Mondays as well, too. It was Thursdays, but I get confused with my show.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm doing a lot,
Yeah, you got a few things going
He's
on.
pretty busy.
Yeah, but, and actually, Carol and I think on the next Connections support group, we'll be leading that. Will you be hosting that with me?
Yes, we will be doing the next.
Yeah, so we've got one class at the moment, and that's the Family to Family. But then we also have the Family Support Group and Connection Support Group.
Okay.
And the Connection Support Group is for people that, for peers that are struggling or have struggled in the past, to lift each other up and work through the day-to-day problems.
Gotcha. And that, again, information on the website here about that. And then also Creative Expressions. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Creative Expressions is fun. That's kind of been going on for almost a year, maybe a little over a
A
year.
little over a year.
Yeah, it's a program that spun off of another program in prison, but it's a way for us to express ourselves, learn what NAMI is about. It's open to anybody. We like to keep, at least 16 years old, is a general, but open to parents, family members, or just members of the community that want to learn what NAMI is and what we do. And I'll share a little bit about my story, and we'll create some art. I'll lead you through an awesome piece of art.
And so that's Mondays.
That is Mondays.
And what time is that?
5:30 to 7:30.
5:30 to 7:30.
And it's usually really fun. We try, it's low pressure, a lot of laughter. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people get a lot out of it because in sharing my story, they're able to hear something a little bit different. And I've had a lot of good responses for it. Carol comes quite often.
Yes, I come pretty regularly. And,
There you go.
and we have, and we refer others, so I come to support others that are coming in also. And my daughter has come to the group, and so.
Nice.
So that group is, it is required to register though.
Yeah.
They need to re-register. The support groups are, the peer support group is on the 4th Wednesday of every month,
Okay.
and you can just show up. And the
Okay.
same with the family support group, which is on the 2nd Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
But when you want to go to the Creative Expressions, you do need to call because we need to be prepared for however many people.
Yeah, there's limited slots,
come in,
usually
because
about
we provide all
15.
the art supplies.
Gotcha. And now, I see on the website, there's, it's called a program interest form. Could somebody, if they're online, submit that or fill that out?
Yeah, that
Okay.
definitely helps. It helps too because we're all volunteers, so usually we're working during the daytime and we have to get back to you later in the evening. Or if you
Gotcha.
call the phone, leave a message and we'll get back to you.
No, all right. So, again, yeah, a lot of the different programs or groups, support groups with NAMI, and again, one that's starting April 7th, and just so I get it right, it's the family.
Support group.
Family to family.
Well, family is
Family
class.
to
It's called a
family.
class.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, because that's where I see the family support group on
Yeah.
here, but they are different things.
They are different things. Yeah, the support group is preferably you go to the class and then you start going to the support group. It's like
Okay.
one follows the other. It's not necessary, but if you come to the support group, we're going to recommend you go to the class.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the class is really gets everything in there. It's about working and learning things, whereas the support group is just to kind of lift you up.
With the class, we have a big binder, and everybody gets their binder.
Yeah.
And you're learning about the science behind mental health. And you have to learn about each of the different mental health issues that are, in their area. And
Yeah.
it's very, very informative when you can understand why your loved one might behave certain ways that don't make sense, then we're taught how to communicate to them in an appropriate way so as not to hurt their feelings, and they can hear us.
So, yeah, so the class, now I get it, the class really gives you the foundation.
Yes.
All the information to make the support group more effective.
Exactly.
So the support group, kind of an ongoing, where you can come to the support group and just have that ongoing relationship, support, communication, but it would be more challenging to come into that support group without any of that basic knowledge.
It'll help you, but it definitely, so you may not know that something that your child or loved one is doing is related to their illness. You may not even put that correlation together. And once you have a better understanding of what's going on, then you can work through it better.
One of the other positive things that I got out of it is so many of us who are dealing with maybe children or other family members with mental health issues, we don't know that there's others out there. You know, and sometimes you end up, being ashamed because you don't know how to make things better, and so it's just helpful. So we had about almost 20 people, I think, in the class that I started with, at least 15, and so then we all get to hear each other's stories, find out we're not alone, and then that's where you make connections also with the individuals, and they start coming to the support group, or at least we exchange numbers and we can keep in touch.
Yeah, and that probably is common, maybe it's becoming less common as more people open up, or there's more groups like NAMI that talk about mental illness, but there's still, imagine people that feel like, oh, well, no one else is dealing with this, or I don't want anyone to know about this, whatever. They might be thinking that, and that's just not true. That's not true at all. So it's great to be in a group or in a setting where there's other people that are sharing their stories, their experiences, what they're dealing with, what they're going through.
And what they've learned, like you said, what they've worked, what's worked for them, and then we get to share with each other. And
Yeah, wow. So hey, if you're just tuning in or just started watching on our KRIM Radio Facebook page, talking with Carol and Shaun with Payson NAMI, and about a family-to-family class, also family support group and other programs offered at Payson NAMI. And just wanted to talk about, because the word has been mentioned now a couple times, stigma. And when you were saying, hey, I got confused because of a program I do, it's here at the radio station every Thursday, a radio program called Stigma Shift. And that's one of the goals, or I guess the main goal of that program, is to create that stigma shift when it comes to mental illness.
Yeah, and I've been loving it, because it's what we're about. It's changing the thought patterns, changing the ideas, and making it normal, normalizing all of it. So every Thursday at 8, I get on there, I play some good music, and just have some great conversations.
Yeah, and because it is, I know we've mentioned this in previous programs, it's no different than somebody dealing with any other medical issue, a broken bone, or diabetes, whatever it is. If it gets to a point where you need help, you need other people, support, attention, medication, whatever it is. It really isn't any different.
No, and that's one thing I keep saying too, is understanding mental health isn't a way to excuse things. It's a tool to understand what's going on and to be a better person.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's, I guess we would never say, someone breaks their leg, oh, give me a break, you're going to the hospital? Really? What? You're gonna have a doctor look at that? Come on, that's silly, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how anyone thinks. No. It's like, oh, you're injured. You need to get that looked at. You need to get that fixed. It's no different with our brain. Yeah. So
I know it's changed my life. Understanding mental health has put me on a whole new trajectory, and I'm a better person for it.
Yeah. No. And that's really everyone. Everyone is dealing with, working through, have things in their life, challenges that you need to, work through, get help with. And it's unfortunate that sometimes, or there's that belief, oh, I'll just, I do it on my own.
Yeah.
I'll do it on my own. And then it can just get worse and worse and worse, and that's not good.
Yeah, that's kind of how I explained it at the high school. I've done the stinky fish speech there twice.
Oh, yeah, what's
Yeah.
the stinky fish?
Yeah, so I took all these things, I had the students write down on a tag, I had this little fish, I should have brought one. I had this little rubber fish, and about the size of a big shad, but I got these tags on it. And I want them to write one thing that stresses them out, one thing that's going on that's wrong in their life, one thing that's, they're worried other people think about them, or what people do think about them. I have them write one thing, and then I have them all throw them at me at one time, and I try and catch as many as I can. And,
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's a high schooler's life right now. It's not, you don't have just one thing going on, you have all these going on. And if you don't recognize them and deal with them, you're gonna stick them in your pocket for later, and it's gonna start to stink.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. If you're not dealing with it or asking others for help or going through it, it's just gonna worsen, it's gonna develop into something else. That's when poor mental health can develop into a mental illness. It's kind of, I use the analogy for going through a breakup. There. Like, it's all right to be sad and cry and isolate yourself for a few days. But once it starts coming on to more than a few days, once you don't want to eat, you don't want to go to school, and it's really starting to interfere with your life and affect your life in negative ways, then it's going into poor mental health and mental illness.
Yeah, and you hope that, I guess there's that recognition, or there's the person says, hey, I don't want this to get worse, but I think probably a lot of times we will maybe convince ourselves that it won't, that, oh, it won't get any worse, oh, this is, I'll be fine, I'll, be okay, but then it doesn't.
Exactly, yeah. And
Well, a lot of times the advice that's given to someone is just buckle up, or buck up, or,
Yeah.
So then they think they're supposed to be doing this on their own. And yet there's something wrong with them, and they're weak if they aren't able to do everything that they feel they're supposed to be doing.
No, yeah, that's true. I think that was the kind of mentality, or how it was viewed, years ago. But thankfully that is changing. That is changing, has changed, and there's groups like NAMI, and also being active in the community, going into the schools, talking to young people, having the support groups, and just being out in the community.
Yeah, that workshop the other day was great, to actually go into the high school, because I've done the Unbroken Project, and I've done in the Silence there. But to come and actually host 4 workshops, 1-hour workshops, it was fun. It kind of petered off throughout the days, but even when it got to the smaller groups, those were the ones that really wanted to be there. So it was really interesting, and it was hard at some points, when you had children talking about, how bad their parents are doing. They're worried about their parents, or worried about having to be the caretaker of the parents. It was disheartening in some aspects, but for the most part, it was really great. And I hope they gained something.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of like sad, but also good that they hope that they're recognizing that, and they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Because if they aren't talking about it and just kind of pushing it down, trying to ignore it, trying to deal with it on their own, and not putting it out there, then that's not healthy. So at least this is a healthy way to deal with that, to deal with that situation. That might be out of their control to a certain extent. Another event that's coming up that I know was very beneficial for NAMI and other nonprofits, the Nonprofit Forum, is this Friday. And I remember you attended that last year, Shaun, right?
I did, yeah. I'm not going to get to this year. My current job's a little more restrictive.
Yeah.
I'm working really hard to find another job, so everyone knows. I'm looking. No.
Yeah, but that's this Friday, and it's in the daytime, morning, 9:30 to 2 p.m. But just wanted to bring that up because it's a great venue, forum
It was.
for nonprofits to talk, to interact with each other, make connections, because that's what I've noticed with NAMI, it's the same. You've been working with a lot of different nonprofits in town and outside of town, and that just makes your organization stronger.
Well, most of us are a part of multiple organizations like I am, and of course Carol is as well.
That's why I'm with Time Out Shelter, and so we partnered with, excuse me. And then when we have our Lanterns on the Lake, NAMI was there.
Yeah.
And other nonprofits in the community that are supportive of, and we all have similar outreach,
Interests.
similar interests,
Yeah.
yes.
And that's one thing I'm trying to build, and I haven't gone very far, because I sent out a few invites on my friends list. I had like 7 people respond, but on Facebook, if you want to join it and people can search it, it's called Payson Area Nonprofits. And that way, it's just a place where we can get together and exchange, even if it's just office furniture. It's like, hey, I got, or surplus items, or
Yeah.
events, this way we can connect. And this idea is born from the nonprofit summit last year.
Gotcha.
Because
Yeah.
we had some really good ideas. We worked on some different projects and breakaway sessions during the nonprofit forum. So, and if you're a part of a nonprofit, I definitely recommend going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, there's still time to get signed up for that. It's this Friday, again, 9:30 to 2 p.m. They have a lot of great speakers, breakout sessions, but then you also have an opportunity to just talk with other nonprofits that are there.
Yeah, because you may hear something from a nonprofit that's nothing like a part of yours. It may be a completely different, like Jesse Berry's Key Payson Plain.
Yeah.
A person may not naturally contact him for ideas because they're two different things, but he'll be there to give his, I don't know if he will, but last year he was. So you may hear something from another nonprofit that you never normally interact with.
Yeah, no, that is very true. And you mentioned Lanterns on the Lake, and that was another great example. So many nonprofits out there, organizations, just showing their support for the Time Out Shelter, but just making it just an even better community event.
Very, very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be even bigger this upcoming October.
October.
16th, you don't mind?
No, of course.
We're partners.
Yeah.
October 16th,
Uh-huh.
and we'll be doing, it's gonna be a lot bigger. Last year, we had about 400 people. About
Wow.
200 of those were children,
Uh-huh.
and we had about 800 lanterns out on the lake.
Wow.
That was a lot.
And-
And this year, we're planning on it being even bigger.
And I'm putting that on my phone right now. I'm putting it on my calendar. Because, it's just it's hard to say, or call an event that is focused on domestic violence an amazing event. It seems, odd, or it doesn't seem right, but it is amazing how the community comes together to support the Time Out Shelter and everything the Time Out Shelter does for people in those situations. So that's the amazing part of it. Not that, unfortunately, we have to do that, or we have an organization to support people in those situations. That's very unfortunate. But again, to have a community that really rallies around the Time Out and the organization is great.
And then ones like having NAMI there, and Southwest Behavioral they had a table, and that also brings in we're getting connected with as many different communities, ministries, communities, like in the medical and stuff, so that we can all work together. And I met with Payson Christian Clinic, and she wanted to be able to create a flyer that could be available for their patients or whoever is there, so that they would know how to reach out locally. Because we have a national hotline, just like NAMI has a national hotline, and people can reach out. But if they have the information for the local area to reach out to, it just we're all coming together, and it's just
Yeah.
making a difference.
But that's a great.
Really making a difference.
Yeah, I love the way Payson is, I've never been a part of a community before, and
Mhm.
all these organizations get together, like, was that Shoe Fly, quilters?
Yes.
They donated a bunch of quilts, so if
Yeah.
someone's going through something, here's a quilt.
Yeah.
High Country Garden Club, they take care of all of our landscaping, they're always doing stuff for us, and
Yes.
so all this interconnection in this just makes us all stronger.
Mhm.
And when someone that's going through a mental health issue comes to our group and learns about it,
Yeah.
they by proxy starts becoming a part of these other organizations and learn
Yeah.
more resources that are available in the community.
And then typically, they want to give back.
Oh,
They
yeah.
become involved to be able to help others as well.
Yeah. No, it's so cool to see to see the community, all of the nonprofits coming together, organizations, businesses that support the nonprofits. But just thinking about the High Country Garden Club, it's really cool because you mentioned that they take care, do some planting of flowers or landscaping, at the NAMI office. Well, they do that for the Humane Society.
Oh, yeah.
And they did a garden, like a rock garden, where people can memorialize their pets.
Oh,
They
wow.
can donate, and they get a rock for however much they want to donate or able to donate, and their pet's name and like a picture or something that represents their pet gets painted on a rock, and it gets put out in their garden. Well, the High Country Garden Club did all the work for that, and then you have businesses like Plant Fair Nursery that donated plants,
Yeah.
for it. But then the High Country Garden Club did that for the Humane Society. Well, the Humane Society works with the Time Out Shelter, where if people that are in domestic violence situations and they
Yes.
have a pet, well, the Time Out Shelter can't take a pet, so the Humane Society takes the pet for
Yeah.
them and can hold the pet. So it's just so
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
seeing all the organizations, how they're connected. And like you said, Sean, gardening really has nothing to do with domestic violence or with...
Mental health.
Well,
Well, it does kind of.
I know, that's, you have those,
Everybody-
If you look
yeah,
at it,
those
Good for mental
Japanese
health.
gardens,
Yeah.
where you're like, just rake the sand, rake the sand.
Well, I really like, because, if they come to our building, they see, it's a beautiful building. The MHA Foundation, gave us the use of this building, and then they help make it pretty, so this person that's going through the struggle comes somewhere where it's pretty, where it's
Yeah.
nice, it's comfortable, it feels like home.
Yes,
So it's important, and it's just, once again, shows more support.
instead of just like a sterile,
Yeah.
plain
Block.
nothing, nothing really that's visually appealing
Yeah.
or just pleasant to.
And when you're first starting off as a nonprofit, you don't have a whole lot of funds.
Mhm.
So Patty Wisner, who's the one who
Mhm.
founded Payson NAMI,
Mhm.
they've grown to this place where we're at right now. And by having others help and contribute,
Mhm.
that's made it so much better.
Yeah, I had a quote, I had to do the, let me see if I can find it real quick. I had to do the annual report for NAMI. We're having our membership meeting today.
Mhm.
And I had a quote on there, hopefully I can find it real quick, that Patty said.
Mhm.
I said, we've come a long way. Let's see. Oh, that's not very far down here. Because you'll like the quote.
Mhm.
I don't know what I said, but it's something about we came a long way from being in the back of Scoop's ice cream shop to
That's, oh wow, yeah.
to actually being contributing to
Yeah.
the public, to actually being called into these other aspects. I wish I knew. I could
That's
find it.
funny. While you're looking for that again, just want to reiterate or mention again the NAMI Family to Family class.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
class.
Family to Family class. It starts April 7th, so that is next Monday. And that is from 1 to 4:30 p.m. Every Monday for 8 weeks. And that is a class for anyone that has a loved one, a child, grandchild, a partner, whoever.
Friends.
Friends that that has mental illness, any type, and you want to know how to better communicate with them, have a relationship, take care of them, whatever the situation is. But it will give you a strong foundation on just, as you said, Carol, medical explanation, kind of a better idea of what's going on, you know, in that person's mind, what they're dealing with, so you can create that stronger relationship.
And I do want to add that we have one other support group once a month on the first Thursday, which is FaithNet.
Oh, okay.
And so our FaithNet facilitator, she has to host the group and facilitates from her home.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, they would need to call to register, and then she'll give them the information on where to meet. But that's another big addition to.
I have that number too.
Mm-hmm.
The number is 562-889-9571. And that's Kathy.
Kathy, all right. Did you find the?
I did, yeah, so the quote is, we've come a long way from that noisy back room at Scoop's Ice Cream Parlor. Now we're helping shape conversations at the county level.
There you go, the noisy. I know,
Yeah.
because kids, oh my
You
gosh.
know, what they said, they'd be fighting the compressors on the.
Oh, the
the compressor would kick on, they'd have to wait a second, yeah.
Oh, no, that's funny. Yeah, because for a while there, it did make a little bit of noise. Yeah, it was a little loud. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Brings back some memories. Well, again, if you want more information on NAMI, you can call them or on the website. And you go to the website, namipayson.org, and it talks about all of the different classes and support programs that NAMI Payson offers. And again, it's great to have this resource in our community. So, you know, thank you to you, Carol and Shaun and Patty and everyone over the years that's been involved with this program to bring this resource to our community.
Yeah. And of course, we have to thank KRIM, that they support us a lot as well.
Thank-
And
Yes.
they support us throughout, you know.
Anything we can do to help, it's good. And all the other organizations that you work with, yeah, we have amazing nonprofits in this community, and it's because of the people. Because that's really, people make the nonprofits. They're the ones volunteering and giving of their time and all their knowledge, their skills. So it is great. So thank you guys for coming in
Yeah, thanks
this
for having us.
morning.
Thanks
Oh,
for having
you're
us.
so welcome. Thank you everyone for listening and watching this morning. And we hope you have a wonderful Monday. Time to get back to the music here on KRIM with some Rick Derringer, the Knack, Foreigner, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service so they can tell us how beautiful it's going to be today. Take care, guys.
With this morning's KRIM weather forecast for Payson.
All right.
There we go.
All right, see ya.
You killed it.